Hey food fans, welcome back to Then We Eat. This week we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go back in time and make something that used to be considered quite a gourmet meal. Although we're going to make it a heck of a lot easier than it was then. So stick around and we'll show you how to make deconstructed chicken cordon bleu. Okay, so for this recipe, it's actually pretty easy. First thing we're going to do is we're going to bread some chicken and fry it. Now it can either be done in the deep fryer or the air fryer. Today we're going to be doing it in the air fryer. Just keep things easy. Cleanup's a lot easier too. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pound out the chicken so that we can get it ready to bread. So easy peasy. We're just going to stick it into a Ziploc bag. So all we want to do is basically get the chicken so that it's all of the same thickness all the way across, so it's going to cook evenly. So it doesn't need a lot, just enough to get it going. So you're looking at something, you know, maybe about that thick. This one had the tender on the side, we'll just peel it off. And we'll grab the other breast and give it a bit of a pound as well. So again, you're not looking to actually flatten the chicken like out to nothing. Just flatten it out enough that it's equal thickness all the way across. The other thing is try to keep them about the same thickness so that when you're cooking them, they'll cook about the same length of time. Okay, so that seems about good. Once we have the chicken pounded, then what we're going to do next is we're just going to add a little bit of olive oil and coat the chicken with the olive oil so the breading will stick. So you need roughly about maybe a tablespoon of oil. In this case, we're using olive oil. You could use veggie oil or peanut oil or whatever oil that you like to use. So we'll just toss them around a bit, get them nice and coated in the oil, and then I'll be right back after I wash my hands. So the reason that we're calling this deconstructed chicken cordon bleu is, I'm sure if you've ever had it in the past at a restaurant, or maybe you've even made it at home, generally speaking, there's a chicken breast that's wrapped around ham and cheese, and then the ball is deep fried so that the cheese is locked inside the chicken. I don't know how many times you've tried to keep cheese inside of something when you're cooking it, but it's incredibly difficult to do. So in this case, we're going to do it much easier. What we're going to do is we're just going to make the chicken breasts flat, put the ham on top of it and the cheese on top of it, and then broil it in the oven. We'll show you as we go along. Next step is that we need to bread the chicken, so let's flavor up the breadcrumbs. Okay, we're going to add a bunch of spices now. You don't have to worry about it too much because, as we try to do in all of our videos, you can check the description down below for the recipe. So I'm going to read this list off because I can never remember what it is. So we're going to add paprika, dried chili pepper, ground black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, and a little bit of salt. We are very, very easy on salt. We find that most things have enough salt in it that you don't need a lot more anyway. So let's add that to the breadcrumbs. We'll just give that a bit of a stir around. I think we mentioned this in another video, but we make our own breadcrumbs. We just keep all the heels from the bread, stale bread, dinner rolls, all that kind of stuff in the freezer, and then once every month or two we break it all down and make breadcrumbs from it. We don't flavor it at the time, we flavor it for each dish we're making, but it's always great to have a few breadcrumbs in the freezer, and it's a great way to quit from throwing out all that extra bread. So we're going to take the chicken and we're going to coat it in the breadcrumbs. Try to get it as even as possible. Okay, so that gives us the breading on the chicken, so we'll just clean up a bit. We'll get the air fryer ready and we'll get it cooking. Okay, so we've got our air fryer up to temperature. It's up to 390 degrees, and we're going to cook the chicken for about 10 to 12 minutes, and we'll flip it after 7. Now, if your breasts are a little thicker, it's going to need a little more time, obviously, or thinner, they'll need a little less. So keep an eye on them, but 10 to 12 minutes is a pretty good time. And normally you flip it about 2/3 of the way through or so, but anyway, as I say, we're going to do about 7 minutes and then we'll flip it. So these are pretty big. So I think we're only going to be able to get one in at a time. So we'll get the first one in and get it going. And we'll see you in about 7 minutes or so. So it's been about 7 minutes. We'll have a little peek at the chicken and give it a flip over too. Oh, she looks beauty. Coming along very nicely. I think it's only going to need about the 10 minutes. Looks very good. So let's give it another couple minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes, and I think I had a quick peek just a second ago, and I think actually we've been long enough. So I think we'll take this one out. We'll put the next one in, get the other one cooked off camera, and then we'll come back and show you how to finish the rest of the recipe. So just so you know, this is about what it looks like. It's got a nice crunch on the top, so I think we're pretty good to go. So let's put the other one in, and then we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay, so we're back. The chicken's cooked. As you can see, it looks really nice, brown, crispy. So now we can add the toppings, and then we'll broil for a couple minutes. So what we're going to do, we're having a bone-in smoked ham tomorrow. So all I did was I just sliced off a few pieces from the end of it so that I could use it in this recipe. It'll give it a really nice flavor as opposed to just using store-bought ham. So that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to just put some ham on top of the chicken. And then after we've put the ham on top, then what we're going to add is a little cheese. So on the one, I'm going to add some mozzarella cheese. It'll be a little less flavor, but some people don't like a really strong cheese anyway. So we'll do one with mozzarella. And then the other one, I'm going to do some, we have some leftover Swiss from a recipe we were doing the other day. So I'm just going to put Swiss on the other one. It'll give it a really nice flavor. Okay, so there we go. So we'll broil this just long enough for the cheese to melt, and we'll be back and show you what it looks like. So we've got our chicken out of the oven. So let's plate it up, and then we'll give it a little taste, see how it is. So as I said, we did one with mozzarella. That happens to be this one. And then we did another one with Swiss. And then to serve with this, we're going to do some mashed potato balls. You'll be able to see this in an upcoming video. They're really tasty, really easy to use, but I'll let Debbie show you about those. So we'll just add a couple of potato balls to our plate and give it a little pretty. Now as far as the veggie goes, unfortunately I ran out of time today. We were going to do some cauliflower for you, but for a veggie for this, we were going to do some roasted cauliflower. You could also do some steamed carrots with maybe a maple butter glaze. There's lots you can do, but make sure you eat your veggies. At least that's what my mom always said. Okay, so let's give it a taste and see how we did. You can see the chicken cooked perfectly. There's a ton of flavor going on in that, let me tell you. Yeah, that's really good. The smoked ham in that just is night and day compared to what you would get at the deli counter. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Share it with all your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when we're putting out new videos, which we try to do every week. So don't forget, first we cook. So good. Then we eat.